have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up, everyone!
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hey everybody, it's Jay, and Jay alone because Mr. Jacob Walsh, he's somewhere maybe camping out in the woods, I don't know, doing something for the mothership itself, that is YHS Podcast. Yes, have some. So I know he's out there having a good time. It's Halloween week. I think it's kind of like his favorite week of the year and a lot of our favorite weeks of the year. It's great. I'm super excited. Going to be Max Headroom this year. Well, for work Halloween. I don't know if I'll be donning the costume when we take the kids out, but super exciting. And we couldn't go another 2 weeks without talking to you guys because there's a lot of toy news, a lot of cool stuff going on. So I thought I'd hop on here and do a solo episode. I hope you guys are up for it. It probably won't be 2 hours long, but it could be. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I have some pickups. I had a little stress about DesignerCon. It's like 2 weeks away. It's insane. Been watching some things, been in the middle of a huge room reorg. Because we can start there. I have, for the last few weeks, and I might have mentioned it on the show. I can't remember, to be honest. I felt like it was after Kaiju Go. So you had G-Fest, you had Kaiju Go, and all these new pickups kind of coming in to the room. And even though the room had been updated from like when I posted like my the walkthrough video I did, like a year plus ago now, I made some moves even after that to move out a big arcade and put in a nice display shelf and added a lot, I don't know, 60, 70 toys in that display shelf and almost all my Ultra stuff, some Spectre Man stuff, etc. But then I looked around and there wasn't, I don't know. I just was like, I can't add more, or if I do, it's going to just look so clunky and like either properties or types of toys were just like split apart, and it just didn't feel right. And I'm a big believer when your toy room doesn't feel right, then it's not functioning, because we collect these things not for any type of medicinal purpose or anything. Like, we do it because it makes us feel good. I guess that is medicinal, right? And when it stops making us feel good, it's time to make a change. And that could be selling some product and buying some new stuff. That could be rearranging the room. In this case, that's definitely the latter, is the what's going on here. So what I was able to do, and it's hard to do this without visuals, but I took down some old classic movie posters that I've had for decades, and they've been up on the walls when I've lived in San Francisco and Los Angeles and Chicago and now here in Dallas. And I think it's just time. I kept one of the Godzilla ones, and I moved some things around, moved some of my new prints, and whether it's Tom Whalen, Attack Peter, you name it. I have one of those original British quads for Terror of Mechagodzilla or Monsters from an Unknown Planet. And it freed up some space to where I could move that nice display cabinet from where the arcade used to be over to that wall. And now I have a whole area for maybe like a decent sized display cabinet I can add there that would be totally fresh, totally new stuff, which is wonderful. I also can now, I think, compartmentalize maybe some of my toys in a more, I don't know, inviting way, one that makes me feel warm and fuzzy and all that good stuff, which it was too cluttery. And I think I like strategic clutter, right? Like it's the TGI Fridays, Bennigan's approach, where you go in there and like every single square inch of the wall is covered with some knick-knack or whatever. It's like that, but done by design. And I like to show a high density of cool toys, but I also want to make sure that there's some like appeal to it from a aesthetic standpoint. So I wasn't able to do that until now. Now, granted, I have to find like a new display cabinet, which is its own challenge, but I'm really excited. I'm for the first time in a while, I'm excited to like move some stuff out and put some stuff here. You know, maybe my Inframan can finally be next to my Spectre Man and my Zone Fighter, and the world will be better for it. So that's been stressful. The other thing that adds to that is, and this dovetails nicely into Decon, is I have a giant pile. I mean, I'm talking, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet long, 3 or 4 feet wide, and probably up to like your knees of inventory for Decon. It's not on the Toku Toy Town site. This is all stuff I'm going to debut, I guess, at Decon, and then slowly but surely, whatever doesn't sell, plus the existing inventory, put it back on the site. That's scary, because every time I come in here, I look at it, I'm like, that's 100+ tags I got to create, new tags. Then I have to go and double check that everything is still tagged from Kaiju Go, and tagged, I mean price tagged. And like if the price changed, if maybe I dropped the rates on one or something. So it's a lot. The good news is like the Decon setup, I'm not overthinking it this year. I always overthink my setups. We're just gonna, when I say we, Jake and I, and hopefully Sweaty Vinyl can help out too. Like we're just gonna kind of wing it and let the space speak to us, and we'll put some stuff together. But I still gotta have inventory prices. I can't just guess on stuff. Everybody will be getting really underpriced toys. I don't need that. Gotta make it look like kids to feed here, people. But it's stressful. I mean, also it's like these are really cool toys. Like, do I keep them? I mean, I have some really cool Marusan stuff there. Got a few vintage Bullmark items that I'm excited to have at Decon, and a little Amakuma, some Bandai vinyl art, like some cool stuff. And it's just, you know, the not fun part of it, the least sexy part of it is having to make the price tags. It's hard. So that's nice. And it's 2 weeks away. So it's not like I have a few months to do this. I've had a few months to do it, but obviously I procrastinated. Kaiju Go killed me this year, man. I was so tired after Kaiju Go that I almost like didn't even think about. I barely got Toku Toy Town up, back up. And so I'm excited though that in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have a nice little break until G-Fest of next year. I don't have any planned shows to do. Maybe something local if, you know, could do a pop-up at, you know, I would love to do, you know, a pop-up 1 day or 2 day pop-up at one of the local kind of awesome, cool places like Velcrokid, which I went to this last weekend. Love Velcrokid. You've heard us talk about Velcrokid on here before. It's a really, 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 really cool place if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, out in Louisville, specifically the city. And it's a cool like vinyl toy vending machine, cafe, gallery, hybrid space. That's very neat. I know they announced that they were really going to give it one more huge push. They've been around for about a year, maybe a little less. I think they might have soft launched this time last year. And hey, it's tough. It's a tough market for anything, especially a new concept, a new category of retail. And Eric, the owner, who's awesome, great dude, met him at Decon last year and have become friends with him. He was, you know, very open and transparent, which is really cool. I think us as consumers, sometimes, I don't know about you, but like sometimes I hate that feeling of you want to go to a place and then it's like, it closed down. Like you have no idea. And not that they have to share their financials, but he's been very honest and transparent. Like, guys, like this is a new concept. I need the community to come out and support. So I went there this weekend, and yeah, there's a lot of people there, probably more than I've ever seen there at one time. And we were able to hang out. Ran into one of our listeners who we actually met through at Kaiju Go and Leviathan Collectibles, another great shop here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Jason and his family was out supporting Velcrokid. So it was also always cool to see Jason. Very cool. And it was a great time. Took the kids and Shelly, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time eating some cool foods and buying some toys. Kids love the blind boxes. Got some cool stuff. And I got this awesome Well, my son got it, but he was like, I'm over it. So I got this cool little Mothra pin here. Yeah, like that was from one of the little vending machines. But guys, like Velcrokid's awesome. But I'd love to do like a pop up there. I think a Toku Toy Town like 2-day pop up, just kind of come hang out, buy some neat vinyl toys from Toku Toy Town while you're buying your cool vinyl toys from Velcrokid. So anyway, neither here nor there. Hopefully that will be, if anything, that would be the only thing that I would probably look at doing from now until, from post DCon until G-Fest. But yeah, DCon's stressful, but it's also exciting because I get to have a fun road trip with Jake. That's always cool. The last year was so fun. Jess is meeting us out there as well. I believe Craig and Abby, like the whole YHS crew is going to be there, which is so cool. Johnny Cock, one of the listeners, amazing artist. I think we've mentioned him on the show many times. Awesome dude, painted by Skeleturtle. Have some cool prints from him. He's going to be at DCon, I think, for one day to stop by and say hi, which is cool. Of course, the Attack Peters and Octeals and Neil Ewings and all the cool people, Jenny Cherries that we've become friends with or know through Kaiju Go, Wes and Last Bastion. It'll be neat to see all those guys as well. DCon was a blast last year. So on one end, stressful to just have to focus and get this stuff up and get it ready. A little stressful that we're going to wing it. Now that I'm not thinking out loud, I'm like, we'll just wing it. The setup of Toku Toy Town. But, no, it's the first time I've ever done that. We'll figure it out. We'll be fine. Jay, we'll be fine. And so you have that on one end. And it is a lot of work. It's a long drive. It's a lot of prep. Working. It's not G-Fest level difficulty working it. But it's still like you still got to kind of be on. And you also get a little stressed about all the cool toys and stuff that are going to be there. That's why I'm like trying not to look at the DCon exclusives and releases from like our favorite people, because then I'll just start making a list. And then on top of selling stuff, I'll be like, is there any chance I'm going to get this? I'll be driving, 15 hours out there, and it'll be like the whole time I'll be thinking about, what's Enka Vinyl going to bring? And then I see how amazing it is, and I don't even have a chance to leave the booth and get it. So there's a little bit of that stress. Well, I don't even know if we mentioned this on the podcast earlier. We might have, but the map came out a few weeks back, and talk about stress. But that's once again exciting stress. All the cool vendors. But we have an awesome location. I'm going to pull up the map here real quick. Hold on, let me see. I'll share it here on the screen for those watching at home. Let me pull this up here. Share screen. And where is that map? There we go. Cool. And I'll expand this out a little bit because it is, guys, look how big DCon is. It's 700 something vendors, all those tables. Isn't that nuts? And there's Medicom has their own store. Look at it, keeps going. It's ridiculous. It keeps going. Look at that, guys. It's nuts. It's like nothing else. But here, let me go over here to where the Toku Toy Town is. And let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. Okay. So right here, if you look, Creature Bazaar's dead center. If you go up a row and to the right, you'll see Toku Toy Town. Look who I'm next to. A whole 4-table section. It's listed here as Mosa Toys and Last Bastion, but that is, and I checked this out on Instagram, that is Last Bastion. We love those guys. Ragnar and all that good stuff. And the Lucha Toys and you name it. You got Neil Ewing, Bombastic Plastic, the legend. So much cool stuff there. You got Octeal. So, he's going to have some kaiju creams and they're all going to be gone in 2 seconds. I'm not as familiar with Mosa Toys and Catmint. They look like they have some cool stuff based on these pictures. Adam at Mad World Toys. We got some of his stuff at G-Fest. He's going to be there. His toys are going to be there. I hope he's there too. Jenny Cherry. We love Jenny Cherry. I'll definitely probably spend some money there. Also, Heartbat Studio. They do a lot of the painted Godzilla toys. It's very, a pink type aesthetic. In fact, I was looking at some of one of their customs for Max Toy this past weekend, and it was awesome. They do really good stuff. So it's like 9 different brands in one section, and they're right across from us. Literally, like we can just throw stuff at them. It'll be amazing. But there's so many people like T-Base Japan, Headlock Studio, or diagonal from us. Toy Art Gallery is diagonal, kind of north of us there, if you will. Right in this area right here, you'll see that's green. That's Toy Art Gallery. There's Last Bastion. There's Tokyo Toy Town. And there's T-Base. There's Headlock Studio. You go down here and look, we're only 2 rows down from Enka Vinyl and Mushroom Toys and Vega Relics. So yeah, and then over here you got Creature Bazaar and Punk Drunkers. An Unbox is over here as well. So many great ones. The only thing that's a little bit interesting, and we're a little bit further away than last year, is way over here, which actually, when you're in the arena, not that far away, is Sun Guts and Monster Patrol Marusan. I know Max Toy will not be there this year. They're usually part of that Marusan, Max Toy, Monster Patrol little section. I know he's in he's at the doing a book signing, and we'll talk about that later too. So very cool stuff. And that's just this little mini section. Mutant Vinyl Hardcore is right down here, behind Enka Vinyl and Vega Relics. Four Horsemen Studio. I mean, so many. It's just ridiculous. But then, like, Bull Airs is over here. I know Jake is a good buddy with the Bull Airs team. They do some partnerships with YHS. That's some really cool jackets and shoes that are all tied into really cool properties. I mean, it's everybody. And once again, just to show you, I'm going to pull out of the screen here just so you can see, like, look at that. Hundreds and hundreds of artists and vendors. It's just amazing. I don't know. Last year I don't know. And then I'm gonna go up here. Like, there's our buddies over at Mondo. They're gonna have an awesome booth right at the front, right when you walk in, and next to Rokimoto and Tokidoki. I mean, everybody's gonna love that. And then Medicom will have their whole like store within a store. It's gonna be super cool. I'm curious if they bring any Anraku exclusives like the Shin last year that everybody flipped out on. I definitely will be hitting up Toy Cube. Their mascot stuff was really kind of one of my favorite things there last year, to get some of those Henshin heroes. I wonder if they have some new stuff coming. I don't know. But Toy Cube, a retailer in Hong Kong, I believe. But yeah, 3D retro, how to work, you name it. All the people. And then up here up top, you'll have a lot of, well, let me get up here. Where is, not that top, sorry. And by top, I mean over here, the far left corner, the other top, which is not, they moved around a little bit. This is where a lot of the artist tables are. And so you never know what you're going to find there. I don't know. It's just super fun. Global Figure Showcase. Yeah, so much cool stuff. I do like our area. I know Seismic Toys will be there. I'm sure Titanic Creations will be there. I didn't see them, but I mean, there's so many to look at. I'm sure they'll be there. It's just fun to walk around and check some of these things out. I hope everybody at least once gets a chance to go to DCon and hit everything up. The Anraku with the Oxygen Destroyer, the Godzilla with the Oxygen Destroyer. If 3D Retro or Medicom, one of those will have that. That's high on my list for those that saw that. It looks pretty cool. Whatever Enka Vinyl brings is on my list. Don't even care. Don't care. I know Permafrost Grocer is supposed to be there. Whatever they have, it's on my list. Toy Art Gallery always has something really, really, really cool. But I'm curious. Last year, I went in not having a huge list. I knew, depending on what like M1 brought, obviously like Creature Bazaar, you never know what they're going to bring from their partnerships with M1 and such. And they always bring cool stuff. So like there's that, but like for specifics, I don't have a lot. And last year, look what happened. I ended up with handfuls, armfuls, bagfuls of toys, and I love every one of them. I think I still have every one of them. So I'm curious if it'll mirror that, or if maybe because I've been there before, I won't get that, oh my gosh, I have to buy. But I don't know if it was that last year. I really think it was just that much good stuff. My Futile Toy is Space Dino, so one of my favorite toys. That was an awesome pickup. I love that one so much. The giant Izon from Mark and Max, so cool. I don't know. I know when Jake pushes something Vega Relics on me, and I was like, And then the day I leave, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get one. Not going to make that mistake again. Totally bought into that brand, that artist. So good. I will not be mecha milked again, which I should not say that out loud, but so much cool stuff. Very excited. I kind of like, I don't want it to be here and I do want it to be here at the same time, but you know the feeling. What else is going on? It's been kind of crazy. Jake and I are working on some cool stuff. I know he's been super busy. I mean, for those that follow Toy Anxiety and YHS, you know that guy's just jet setting across the country doing things for, if it's not Ghostbusters, then it's Toy Fair or going to Hollywood Horror Nights or whatever it might be, and making really cool content. So, hey, Decon's next up. So he's going to make some good content there. So what else is going on? Well, I haven't had a chance to watch a ton of shows lately. I've watched a few. But the other night, I don't know if you guys ever get this. Like, it makes me happy. I'm also a little frustrated. I thought by now this would have been remedied. And what I'm talking about is there's so many cool old vintage Toei tokusatsu shows. I think the two I probably talk about the most from that era are Akumizer 3 and definitely Space Iron Man Kyodai. And those are two that you have the first, I think Akumizer maybe have the first 3 episodes, Iron Man maybe 2 or the other way around, that are subtitled on the official Toei Tokusatsu channel. So good. And they have so much Kamen Rider on there, and Patantan, and Space Cop Galvin, and all these other ones that, I think Captain Ultra is on there, like that I'm not overly familiar with other than the visuals. But I genuinely like Akumizer 3 and Kyodai. And I was just like, I think maybe it was one of our good buddies, Scott Hall, listener. We get to hang out with him and his wife every year at Kaiju Go. One of the best. Awesome collector. Great collection. I think he posted something because he just recently got back from Japan. By the way, Scott made us very jealous. Like, talk about missing out on something. Oh my gosh, your pictures were so awesome. Anyway, he posted something about Akumizer 3 a couple weeks ago. And he made a comment that was like, it came like from, this is like if you took a kid's brain and like had that become a show, and he was so spot on. But I couldn't stop thinking about Akumizer 3. I literally went to sleep, normal time, and I woke up like 30 minutes later and I could not go to sleep. And I had to put on Akumizer 3. And I was like, watch the first episode, watch the second episode, watch the third. I'm like, oh, the English subs for the rest of the series still have to be on archive, the Internet Archive. No, they're gone. And I was like, oh man. So are we now at a point with Akumizer 3? And maybe somebody can let me know if they're out there somewhere. Do we have to go buy one of the DVDs or Blu-rays? Because I believe with Akumizer 3, one of them does have English subtitles as an option. I don't know. But with with some of the other shows, you can go on Internet Movie Archive, get like the version that aired in the Philippines that has English subtitles. It might be dubbed in a different language and then English subtitles. You can find those. Akumizer 3, no. Kyodai, no. Kaiju Buska, never been able to find anything with it. But no, that's Toei. Tsuburaya, one that needs to be remedied. That's a silly one. Same with Fireman. But anyway, I love Akumizer 3. It is so fun. The dialogue is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. The spaceship, ghost ship that turns into the main protagonist ship, ridiculous. Everything. But it's wonderfully ridiculous. And so I'm really just like maybe bummed now more than ever that those have been removed from archive. And I get it. Like it's illegal, right? It's like a licensing thing. Like Toei, this is no shade at you. Like that is totally within your limits. But I've also been staring at a YouTube channel that none of those great shows have been updated. It's literally like I'm going to look. I mean, it's marketing, right? It's a lead gen. It's a lost lead writer. You are putting out content to get them interested in your product. You did. I'm interested. Give me some Akumazer 3, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, same thing. Though I think there's still some of the Filipino version with English sub still on archive. I'll double check that. Anyway, you did the right thing. Like, you hooked us. You got us in. You gave us the free thing to try it out, the sample. Then sell us. It's okay if it costs money. Sell us the rest of the series subtitled. That's the logical thing to do. I sound like one of Jake's sad comments on Toy Anxiety. Do you hate money? No, I know it's a huge undertaking to have a good translation, a good subtitle on a program. But now with like AI and stuff, like, hey, I'll take a bad one. I'll take a fan sub. Just let a fan sub slip out there. Get it done and make it a premium service. I don't care. Toei, I need easy access, consistent access to English subs of all those great tokusatsu shows. I mean, I might become the world's greatest Patonton collector if I could watch more than one episode. Is there more than one episode of Patonton? Do you guys know Patonton? Oh my gosh, guys, I got to pull this up. Hold on one second. Hold on. He is, I almost put on the teleprompter. I don't need the teleprompter. How do I get rid of that? There we go. Let me pull up a picture of Patonton. Oh my gosh. Jay, it's like I've never used a computer before. Oh, yeah, for some reason, it's only going to my notes section. Anyway, Patonton's this like green mushroom looking dude that is, I have no idea what's going on here. That is so blasted strange. Let me see. Let me try one more time, guys. There we go. Patonton. I mean, look at this guy. Hold on. Let me pull him up. I don't need that. Open image in new tab. There we go. Look at this, guys. Share screen. And look at this guy. Boom. That's Patonton. Now, tell me, the straight face, that you wouldn't want to see a show with this guy. For those that are listening, I mean, it is a green, let's just say mushroom, instead of other things, with a little bit of hair on his head. I don't, you know what? I should probably just stop trying to explain who it is, what he looks like. But Patonton's great. But he's on there. So much other stuff is on there. I don't know. Like, I'm just it kind of makes me mad. Like I said, they do the hard lifting of getting us intrigued and then nothing. But, we'll survive. So, hey, let's talk about something a little bit more fun than Toei's inability to get us English subs for these awesome shows. Let's talk about some pickups.
They love that sweet sound vinyl. Get it as much as they can. Sometimes it's a glitter Godzilla. And sometimes it's Vector Man. For those best exclusives, it's gonna cost lots again. And let's hope that sofubi is off their holiday top 10. Yeah! We got Kaiju pickups. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, Kaiju pickups. Now back to Jake and Jay.
I actually had a few things that I picked up this week. So, very random stuff. And a lot of kudos to people that helped me, either alerted me of these things or picked them up for me, because they're awesome. But I got a couple books, and which I usually don't show off. It's not like Jake, man. Apparently I know how to read now. But one, actually, Jake sent me a note and he said, hey, this looks pretty cool. And I haven't had a chance to read it or look at it, but it's not really kaiju, but kind of fits in, I wouldn't even say it's kaiju adjacent. It's adjacent to kaiju adjacent. And that is this book called Yurachara, The History of Japanese Mascots. So look at that. But it's really cool because it has a lot of really cool photographs of a lot of the Japanese mascots. Like, I mean, here's Pyeongchan, who I don't know what he does, but he's playing some sports here. It's a rabbit that plays some sports. Pretty cool. But very cool stuff. And it has some really cool. I mean, I of course love the crossover with the baseball teams. Like you have the Hiroshima Toyo Carp here and the Chunichi Dragons here. I mean, really cool stuff. But so that was cool. But then it came with this like it looks like a little barf bag from a plane, but whatever. Came with that. But the more important one. Oh my gosh, we love Martin Nagata. Martin Nagata is one of the best. It's still I think I still pinch myself sometimes knowing that he's been to 2 Kaiju goes, and he's just a good dude. And the family's amazing. And we don't have to. I don't think it's breaking news the impact that this guy's had on the Kaiju community, the art community. And especially, I think, the toy community. It's been 20 years of Max Toy and an American-born artist that decided to make soft vinyl toys, original creations, and then eventually licensed stuff. And it's been almost everything they do is so well received. And Max Toy, I think, represents something really big in this community. Were there other guys doing it early too? Yes, of course. I mean, it was a whole group of them, but I think Mark's lane and Max Toy Co.'s lane, more accurately, especially getting into the licensed stuff, just showed that hey, there is a place for this, and they continue to put out great stuff. The Captain Max line, no surprise, one of my favorites. All the kaiju and aliens and other tokusatsu inspired creations still are highly sought after. They still are amazing compared to toys that have been made 20 years later. On top of all the custom work, on top of all the partnerships and collaborations he does with Frank Mysterio, with Max, with Last Bastion, it's just, there's too much good stuff out there. But anyway, we know the museum exhibitions that have featured him, his collection, his work, his painting, all that good stuff. But I think it took it to the next level with this amazing book that just came out, and we've been hyping it on socials. It's amazing, and he's going to be doing a signing, I believe, at the Japanese American National Museum in LA during DCon that weekend. Not during DCon because DCon's in Vegas, but you know what I mean, guys. Is Monster Maker: The Strange Creatures of Mark Nagata. Now, first off, the cover, so good. Inko Ai Takita did the artwork, and I believe she's a manga artist. Amazing stuff. It was written by Debbie Michiko Florence, but it is a children's book dedicated and talking about how Mark Nagata became an artist, and specifically how he did from airbrushing to toys. And it is just wonderful. And there's awesome family photos and pictures of the actual Max Toy toys in here, but I just want to show you some of the art real quick. I'm not going to give away because go buy this. It's on Amazon. There's a hardcover and a soft cover. It's amazing. But I mean, we hear him always talk about the Melted Candle Man and Chicken Head and Lion Head, about some of the toys they didn't know who they were when his aunt sent him over to Japan. But look at this. He talks about that, but in children's form. Look at that. Guys, some of that art is beautiful, but there are just some drawings in here, especially the ones of Mark with his Max Toy toys that are, they are worth the proverbial price of admission. And I don't know. This book is it's beautiful. I love this picture. Oh my gosh. Look at that. There it is. Look at that. So kudos to Mark. Go buy it. Monster Maker: The Strange Creatures of Mark Nagata. It's just absolutely stunning. And if you aren't a fan of the Max Toy original lines, the Captain Max line, including Izon and Tripus and Axron and all of them, then you will be after this book. It'll get you really pumped up for it. Okay, so there was that. So awesome stuff, Mark. The other one, I got to do a huge shout out to my boy Ron Wilhelm, everybody's favorite kaiju collector. This was not on my radar, but he shot me a link. I believe this was over at Vicious Fun. And he was like, dude, look at this. And it was from an artist, Toysbian. And it's this little Spectre Man, like wind up, like, pull back car. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. It is just awesome. It's in a off-white with like a soft teal and gold paint. And he has some stickers on the hood there on the side. So cool. He's a little dude, but he's so awesome. Little like a kind of potchy Spectre Man in a car. We love tokusatsu heroes and kaiju in vehicles. But this is so cool. So thanks, Ryan. Like I said, never knew this existed. Wasn't overly familiar with Toysbian. I think I follow him on Instagram, but don't know much about what they produce. This was a no-brainer. So thanks, Ryan, for this. Super cool. Very, very, very much love this one. And like I said, wouldn't have been able to find it without you. Oh my gosh, look at that. I don't know to put him in fake Spectre Man section or regular Spectre Man because you can't cross over. You can't blend those. So really cool stuff. Ooh, I did get. I talked about Velcrokid, right? I was at Velcrokid where I got my pen. I did pick up a print from Jellykoe, and if y'all remember, I had this one probably during like Kaiju Go weekend when it Velcrokid, the Ultraman Protection Agency. Well, they did a partner piece to it, and so I picked that one up. Didn't even see it last time. But it's the Godzilla Kaiju Wrecking Crew. So love that. So I'll hang those probably together. Speaking of Toei and Tokusatsu, cannot escape them. I got a really cool toy. Now, some of you guys might have seen this on Instagram. I think it was Wonderfest in the summer. But from Max Toy Japan, I was able to get the awesome 5-pack the Heroes Vinyl Art 5-pack of Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. So it's huge. So here's the back of it. But look at this. All sofubi style. It'll be a little blurry here. I have to go in front of my face here. How cool is that? For that long dramatic pause, if you're listening, I was scrolling through all 5 of these cool sofubi Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. That was from Max Toy Japan. They're so cool. I love Aka Ranger. I think it's so cool. And this was not on my radar that this was something that they were going to pursue, and it's really good. Are they going to do individual releases? Are they going to do... Can't really do different colorways with these because it's kind of part of the identity. But you could do some fun things with these. And are they going to do other Sentai groups? I don't know, but love the packaging is gorgeous. I mean, just like the opening of the show and the little interludes and everything with that very 70s style art, bright. It's really cool. So I was pumped to get that. I don't know how I'm going to display it. I mean, I'm going to keep it in package, I think, which I normally wouldn't do, but I think that the packaging is almost as important as the toys for this one. So but I need a huge space. I don't know. We'll have to see what I do with that one. Okay, guys. The last thing I got just like Mark or Ryan or Jake or whatever, like I gotta thank the great Sweaty Vinyl. I think Michael for this one because he went to Gam Jam up in Portland. So jealous. Pictures looked awesome. So much cool stuff. And you guys know one of my favorite toy lines. Speaking of, Captain Max is up there, but right up there, my favorite original toy lines. The guy we all love. I mean, hey, I think this guy could be friends with Patanton. And that is from Himitsukeikaku, Thumping Monster Splash Bash. Look at this cool tote bag. There he is. I mean, tell me he shouldn't have a show on the Toei channel on YouTube. Look at that. But he was able to get me 2, bringing my total in the collection to 4. Thumping Monster Splash Pass. I haven't even opened these yet. I've been waiting for this, but also love their header cards are snap, and they have this really cool little window gimmick where, let me pull it up here. Like, so if you see it right here, you'll see that, but that actually, you can open up the flap here on the header card, and that's like a removable little sticker, maybe. I don't know if I want to do it, but it has a really cool, like almost television screen vibe there when you look at it like that. It's very cool. Anyway, let's look at this guy. Let's look at this guy. This was, oh, it's so good. A blank. So this was 3 vinyl colors. It's a dark gray, kind of a pea green, and a dark green. Actually, it's 4, 2 different greens on the legs, like an army green and a, I don't know even what type of green this is, but a little bit darker green. Look at it. So you have the blank there. Look at that face. Even unpainted, that like you just want him to walk around, spit fire, jump out, do whatever he do. And then there's his pro wrestling tights on there. But look, the 2 different color legs, I like that even better. I didn't even notice that until I just took it out. But this is the cool blank. Oh my gosh. Like, look at that. He's the greatest. But the second one, this is the one that I knew they were going to have at Gam Jam. So it was nice to be able to grab it because it's really cool. One of my favorites. So, oh my God, it's so good. Guys, if you aren't buying Himitsukeikaku Thumping Monster Splash Bash, you are insane. Look at this guy. It's like sunset orange with beautiful, beautiful yellow and silver on the spikes. The shading, the colors are beautiful. Like I said, the tights there, they're green. It has the silver extends up to the abdomen. I don't know if he has. Is that an abdomen? I mean, he's a giant, like freaking sea urchin looking thing. And then it goes through there, like the shading there, and his big elephant legs. Like, it's amazing. This thing is this. Okay, whoever's in charge at Toei or Subaraya or Toho, you want a tokusatsu hit. This guy needs a show. This guy needs a show. It will make Baby Yoda, Labubu, K-pop Demon, whatever this thing will kill all of those. It is the best. So cool. Himitsukeikaku. But yeah, those are my pickups. Like I said, a weird mix. I have a few more things coming, but all like were pre-ordered a while ago. Just saving up because in 2 weeks, remember DCon? It's gonna be insane. But love the pickups. And then let me talk about a bit of toy news.
It's the Monster Island news for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew. There are others that do it and they're okay to choose, but there's only one super trusted, amazingly handsome Monster Island crew. Can you believe they're doing that to the Monsterverse? You missed another Anraku lottery, that's the worst. You didn't hear about all those exclusives, no, you're not cursed. You just need another source for news and you'll find out first. Oh yeah, the Monster Island news for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew.
Okay, we have some toy news to talk about. I would say it wasn't a dead week by any means, but it wasn't crazy. I think we're just a little bit before Godzilla Day, which we know there'll be a ton of stuff coming from all players, big and small. And of course, we're a little bit ahead of DCon. But even in spite of that, there was still some cool stuff. So let's talk about some toy releases. Okay. Gallery of Hakuba Gallery, Graveyard Gallery. I feel like you can't go more than a week without some really cool releases. And what I love about their shop is, it might be Marusan, it might be Planet X Asia, it could be Bullmark. I think Bullmark has really been dominating there recently. It could be Electric Toys. It could be anybody. And I think we got 2 really heavy hitters this week. This is amazing. So I had the first iteration of this on Tokyo Toy Town, but it's the Mechagodzilla, the split, where it's their 450, 1975 with, the removable head. This is a half and half where half of it is painted, slightly different than the other one, a little bit more black shading on this one. And then the other half is see-through where you see the machine inside. This one, though, that half is also glow in the dark. So you can see that photo there. Very cool. This is an awesome piece. And I think this one will be a hot ticket on the secondary market. The other one, I think we've been on board with Planet X Asia for a long time for all the stuff they do. And now, of course, with the Harryhausen stuff, even crazier. But this Gyros is so very cool that they're releasing via lottery. So go there and join it. This is the metallic glitter version. So it's hard to tell from this photo, but there is a subtle glitter in here and some deep metallic spray. But this one comes with the damaged head with the big slice mark in the neck when his frill gets ripped off. So you can display him with Ultraman having the frill ripped off. So really cool stuff. These are two of my favorite things out of the news this whole week. The lottery did end already for the Mecha Godzilla. The winners will be announced on Halloween, but you know that thing is going to hit the secondary market pretty quickly. I don't know how many they made, but you know it's going to be there. So those are two really cool things. The Gyros is great. Is it me or like whether it's Lestang or Mondo or Planet X, like or future models with their Kazuo Umeko series, like Umezu series, like Gyros is everywhere. I know it's kind of a workaround to do Godzilla with a Super Eye license, but still, like it's everywhere. So very cool stuff. But this one ranks right up there with it. And I love the removal or the damaged head option. Okay, staying on Planet X, but transitioning over to their partnership with Star Ace. Once again, when these things start arriving, I will be ready to claim toy line of the year, toy line of the decade, toy line of the century, toy line of all time. And that's the Harryhausen Art Sofubi series. We got the Kraken. We've seen some of the other ones. The Cyclops, the painted version, was up for pre-order. Go order it, people. Let's make sure this line stays around forever. And to where they've done every single toy or creature that Ray Harryhausen has personally created, been a part of. Heck, even ones he's talked about in his life. We will find diary entries where he mentioned, oh, I saw a movie, I like that, and we will just make it part of the Harryhausen collection because it needs to never end. These are so good. You know, we don't have them in person, but I know Planet X Asia's quality. Yes, the Kraken was great. The Cyclops might be even better. So excited, but go order this, guys. There won't be a better $180 spent on a toy in your life. Now, I know Star Ace and X Plus wanted the same. And I feel like I haven't heard a ton recently about the Defo Reel series. I feel like it's faded a little bit. I think it peaked probably pandemic, a little bit after the pandemic. I haven't seen as much. I know they're still doing releases every now and then, but to me, it's just, I don't know if it's fallen out of favor or for that price. Like a lot of those people have made the full transition to soft vinyl, to sofubi, and the X Plus purists, for lack of a better term, and never dabbled in the Diffo Reels anyway. But this one was released recently, the Type 3, the multi-fighting system Kiryu. And it looks really cool, guys. I love it. It's a lot of personality, and it's pretty easy to have personality, I think, with these kind of either a chibi or a Defo Reel style sculpt. But this one has even more especially for like a robot. So really cool stuff. But the Godzilla store is going to have the Rick version. If you're into the Millennium series, if you're into Defo Reels, if you're into Kiryu, this one might be for you. So very cool stuff there. Okay. Look, the GMK Anraku, I slept on it the first time. I had to pay a lot more to get it. I'm so excited they're doing a second one so people can now jump on this because it looks very similar with some highlights and some trim differences. It's not like they went purple or anything with it. So it's very similar to that initial sculpt, or excuse me, initial colorway. Of course, it's the same sculpt. It's up right now. The lottery ends on the 10th. Go to the Medicom toy blog where all the other lotteries are. Sign up. Try to get yourself an Anraku 2001. You're never going to, even with tariffs, you can triple tariff that and you're still going to be spending a lot less than getting it on the secondary market. This thing is so cool. It's due out in March, so this means it'll probably be September of next year, but still try to win this. It's an an impressive piece. It's one of my favorite from Anraku. And that says something. Because a lot of their stuff is just fantastic, but this one it's great. The other one comes from Thailand, and that's from Igloo Studio. I can honestly say it says Igloo Studio's debut on YHS The Monster Island, but it's this really cool Godzilla 5 Legacies statue. And this thing it's big. It's, almost 16 inches tall. It's expensive. It's over $1,000 for the color version, which you see the main image. The smaller one's an all bronze one. It's a little bit less expensive, but still $800. And that's before shipping, working with a buying service, because you can get it on the Thai website, but you have to use a buying service to use it. They don't ship internationally from the site. But there's only 70 of the color version made, which I love. And then 150 of the bronze, which also is very cool. But the 5 Legacies there, it has, front and center, it has Godzilla -1, and then over the top, kind of forming a really nice silhouette, there's Shin, which I love. Then you have, I love how they the burning molten lava that you see in the base and around the entire statue kind of bleeds nicely into the chest of burning, Godzilla 95. You have GMK right under him, and then off on the far side, in the back there, you have, of course, the original Shodai Goji from 54. So Shin Godzilla, GMK, Burning Godzilla, -1, and the original. Pretty hard to argue with those 5. And I think, this is a really cool piece. I'm not a huge statue buyer when it comes to, especially ones that are a little bit more not just the actual just suit design and that's it, when you actually kind of almost like a scene, an artistic scene here. But this thing is intriguing and it looks so well done. I'm curious when people get this, those that buy it, what their thoughts are. Like I said, don't have any history with Igloo Studio, but it's really cool. It captures some of the best designs, the most unique, the most iconic, the most important designs in the world of Godzilla. It does it in a unique, cool way. I don't think there's another statue out there that has specifically these 5, but very, very cool. And maybe if it sells well, they'll do a Showa Legacy and they'll have 5 suits from the Showa era or something like that. But really cool. Very, very, very cool stuff from Igloo Studio. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, these are fun. The tree toppers we talked about not too long ago, the busts of Mechagodzilla and Godzilla. Well, they have a little variant here. Then this is, that's Paragon FX Group. These are $150 each, so they're not cheap. They're 8 or 10 inches tall, and they're about, they're only making 50 each of these. But you have a purple Mechagodzilla, which kind of goes in that, you remember the Eva crossovers that you saw the Bandai figures for and stuff, and I think X Plus. And then you have a red, I think, holiday specific Godzilla. Very cool stuff. And then Banpresto, they do they've they've basically made a line out of the crane game, amusement game toys, and they have this Roar Attack Gamera 95. It's in that 5 to 6 inch scale. But this thing will be pretty available. I believe they open up pre-orders or they start shipping in Japan, domestically for Japan, in mid-November. But you can pre-order it now in places like Crunchyroll. I believe it's a January ship. So pretty cool. Who's not to love a cool Gamera 95? And this one has a roaring action. It's inexpensive. It's fun. It'll, I think, scale pretty nicely with your Bandai Movie Monster series. Cool piece. Very cool. And I think it'll be super accessible to us here in the US as well. Okay. Speaking of smaller toys, I normally don't bring up CCP unless they have something crazy. But the caveat, and this applies to all toy makers, if you give me something Mecha King Ghidorah, I'm going to give you some airtime. Because we just are it's an underserved kaiju. It is one that needs more. I mean, I can almost touch the Marmot Mecha King Ghidorah out there. The jokes abound about X Plus and finally giving us one. Eventually, maybe one day. But I can't wait till more manufacturers and makers and artists tackle this. But CCP is releasing 2 along with the 91 Godzilla. There's a ending image clear, appearance image clear version of each, and then a standard. But hey, CCP, they will tackle anything. I love their Mothras are awesome. But way to go. And if you want to get a inexpensive, cool Mecha King Ghidorah, it's hard to beat CCP, especially when you're looking at like $40 now with shipping and stuff. But these will be available. CCP, I think, has pretty good distribution here with going to places like, like Strange Cat Toys. I had Heartbat on my mind. It's over here on my other screen. Strange Cat, or what are some of the other ones that they have? But, it's a lot of the usual suspects that are selling the cool art vinyl toys and stuff. So CCP, you'll be able to find it. Really cool stuff. And that's not going to ship until May of next year. We always think of like the long delays on the big pieces, X plus gigantic, but hey, this is CCP, May of next year. So very cool stuff. What else we got? Oh, have we ever had, this is serious. Have we ever had a toy news where it has been one Marusan slide? That's how prolific they are. These are some of the new Subaraya store exclusives. They are all 450s. And they all are Subaraya, of course. Ultraman stuff. So we have an Ultraman, they call this the silver gray version. You cannot tell this from the slide, but if you look at it, it has like some glitter speckling in it. It looks very cool. The gold version Canagon, which I feel like we've seen very similar renditions of that. Similar also to, or same with the Sunset Busca here. It looks very similar to the translucent orange Busca. Now the yellow Red King is different, and it's glow in the dark. I love when the glow in the darks are a different color, not the glow, it's still the green, but the actual glow in the dark vinyl is more of a traditional yellow as opposed to kind of the ivory off-white GID color that we typically see. So these are pretty cool. But Marusan wasn't done. They also through the Shop 70 store, which is a cool retailer in Japan. A lot of cool stuff there. They're doing this package deal of the Heterus C-type, which I love the C-type from Marusan. I think it's like, hunched over and like just the bigger eyes. It's just goofy. And then the aquatic stage baby Hedera comes with it in a very cool vintage colorway there. But you can pre-order these from their site. It's $150 for the set. That's nothing for the quality of these and how cool they are. And like the C-type, always stands out. Very cool stuff. So awesome stuff, Marusan. And then I do want you guys to one, you can mark your calendar. One, you need to hustle. I probably should have changed that title. But remember back when we were talking about Subaraya-con, and there was that really cool Icarus tricycle from the Chibara-kun show, and they reused a lot of the suits and stuff, and the Icarus one from Ultra 7 was used to be a mailman, a postman, and they had that cool tricycle. Well, they had about 35 left, and now they're up. Like if you go to the it's Shima-X Corp toys.stores.jp. So I think you can link from the normal Shima-X website. But I got this from their Instagram. Also check out the Instagram, which is Shima-X Corp Toys. And you can go get this guy. There's 35 of them. They might be gone. By the time this episode drops, they might be gone. But those are up now. The other one, we have to wait a little bit, but coming up soon is the Unbox Transmission Toys collab of that awesome Godzilla -1 resin statue where he's in the water with the wave. This thing is 13 inches long. It's going to be $250, and it is limited to 150. I thought they would make more, so that makes it even cooler. Yeah, guys, this thing is coming out fast and furious. So yeah, absolutely check it out. Go get that. We've been talking about this one since I think we saw the prototype 2 years ago at Comic-Con. So very cool stuff that's coming up real soon. So mark your calendars. And then last, before we sign off here, big congratulations, not only for the Monster Maker book, but for Mark and Max at Max Toy for a really cool custom show they did at the Kuai Toys in LA. Now, they have a couple locations, but the Melrose location, if you can kind of see there from the image, they even did like a nice, cool scene on the outside window of Captain Max battling Izon. The show was called Monsters on Melrose. There were so many cool toys, a lot of collabs with Wonder Goblin and Jenny Cherry and Last Bastion. So much cool stuff. But the other cool thing is hey guys, go on KawaiiToys.com right now. There's some stuff that didn't sell. They're leftovers. Really good stuff. The images there, those 10 images, those are things as of the time of recording are still available. So much stuff sold. And looking at the sold, I was like very kind of got depressed, but pleasantly surprised with a few things that were left over. Guys, like now, go buy some of it. Take pictures, put it in the Monster Island Visitor Center Facebook group. I bet Mark and Max will thank you for your purchase. And these are so good. Yeah, I mean, the Shin Izon, look at that one. That Chrome Izon, where's that been? Holy buckets. Yeah, and I love the Drowser on there and the minis. Oh, so much cool stuff. So much cool stuff. And I think there might have been some original art that was still available, some prints, etc. But Monsters on Melrose, from what I saw from Instagram and social, looked like a huge success. Congrats to those guys. Congrats to their partners at Kawaii Toys. Very, very cool stuff. Okay. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate the time. There's some cool stuff. Go check it out. You know, don't sleep on Thumping Monster Splash Splash. He's a game changer. He is a game changer. Look at that. Oh my God, so good. But no, I mean, the next time that we talk, we'll be en route to DCon. So we'll to figure that piece out. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do next. Another solo? No, I can't do another solo. Well, maybe we'll broadcast from the road as we're driving, you know, through the deserts of West Texas into New Mexico. Well, maybe we'll talk about some toys. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Tell a friend. We love talking to you guys, with you guys, about toys, about kaiju toys, about all things Godzilla and Tokusatsu and Ultraman, and we want to keep doing it. So we'd love for the word to get out and more people to tune in and listen. We love it. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully I'll see you guys later, and adios.